So lads, the Angel Reese situation is not getting better. It is not getting better at all. And if you guys don't know, obviously, Angel Reese was suspended for a half a game in what might have been the biggest joke in all of team sports, that Angel Reese got suspended for half a game. And like, it was at the stage where even other players were saying it's like, just suspend her for a game. At this stage, like, if you're gonna suspend her for the full game. Don't suspend her for half a game. And clearly, not only was she just suspended for half of the game, but yeah, she didn't play. As expected, she didn't play. Like her fans on Twitter were like, "Oh, Angel, just say your back hurts in the warm up. Just say your back hurts in the warm up." And all of a sudden, like, she's been back for however long.
The greatest dramatic story twist since reality TV created cliffhangers was just revealed by Angel Reese. She left the Chicago Sky with what appears to be a poor improv performance rather than an injury. Put basketball out of your mind. This is the epitome of soap opera. She can be the team's face one moment and then act like a student skipping gym class the next. Here's the worst part, though. This goes beyond simply missing a game. Not at all. It combines turmoil, drama, and disobedience all at once.
Angel Reese got suspended for the first half of a game, saying her teammates suck. This guy made a statement saying, the Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of the statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during a league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we're moving forward.
Just like clockwork, the most recent episode of the Angel Reese drama series comes out as another WNBA season begins. There are players who concentrate on getting buckets, some who concentrate on developing relationships with their teammates, and Angel Reese, who approaches every game as though it were an audition for a reality TV show that no one bought, but that everyone secretly watches.
He doesn't touch the floor. Doesn't play in the first half, doesn't play in the second half. Oh, this is interesting. Did Tyler Marsh just say, you know what, Angel, I like the group that we have in right now. We don't need you. We're playing well. I don't know. Does Angel Reese throw a hissy fit in the locker room, says, no, I'm not playing? Kinda did that. Maybe not that exact, but she went about not playing. Yep, instead of coming to help her teammates, she would rather stick it to the Chicago Sky.
3. Ignore highlight reels and stat sheets. Rebellion episodes per month are her season highest stat, and she just gave her best performance, going out on the Chicago skyline with a back injury so spectacular it warrants a Hollywood agency of its own. Since this isn't only a random injury, let's begin at the beginning. This saga has been meticulously manufactured. She had already been suspended by the Chicago Sky for the game's first half, which was already quite emotional.
Out of here, y'all. This is crazy. This is why this thing took a left turn out of nowhere. I have not, bro. This is supposed to be a professional league. Angel Reese, you telling me you refuse to go in the game for the Chicago Sky because they suspended you for one half? This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Wait till you get up.
4. In anticipation of the spectacular comeback in the second half, the spectators was giddy. On the edge of their seats, fans imagined Angel would come charging off the bench to save her faltering team, a la the hero in a sports film. She didn't ever touch the ground, save for a story twist. Not a minute, Natata. No one would have noticed the difference if you had replaced her jersey with a spectator's sweatshirt.
So the Chicago Sky situation is not ending, and I don't think it's going to end for a while. Like, this is some Dwight Mayer type stuff, but instead of Dwight Mayer saying it's you or me about the coach, Dwight Mayer said it's you or me about the literal entire team, except for the other player that was in her draft class that clearly doesn't fit playing beside her. It clearly does.
What's more amusing is that first, people actually believed it to be merely a tactical maneuver. Perhaps the gathering on the floor appealed to the coach. He might have wished to discipline her. While everyone else was stuck on checkers, he might have been playing chess. Then, however, the truth was revealed. Angel wasn't put on the bench. Angel wasn't dozing off. Angel was leaving, under the enchanted guise of an unexplained back injury, giving up the game, the fight, and the grind. Yes, the well-known back injury, the sporting equivalent of the get-out-of-jail-free card. The funny part is about to begin. After a 5-day respite, this purported backache appeared. 5 days, not 5 weeks, not 5 days, not 5 games. It's like taking a week off from work, arriving to work on Monday, and telling your supervisor that your back suddenly hurts from all the leisure. Very inspiring timing. Naturally, the props department also had to be engaged. Now for the back brace, but not just any back brace. The WNBA's most needless fashion-forward back brace installation ever. Angel wore it with pride over her warm-up sweater, nearly shouting to the cameras, "Look at me," rather than buckling it tightly beneath a lightweight blouse where it might truly be useful. "I'm hurt." Subtlety has died. It's similar to bringing your arm in a sling over your winter coat to class and trying to convince your teacher that you fractured your wrist.
Reese was suspended for the first half of today's game versus the Las Vegas Aces. She told them, "I don't care if y'all suspend me. I ain't playing anyway. My back hurt." Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy work, Angel. That's crazy work, Angel. I cannot believe she just pulled the wool over their eyes like this. They thought that they was punishing her, and the whole time she knew, y'all can't punish me. I'ma say my back hurt. I'm not gonna play anyway. This season is over. This is crazy. We already saw her throw her teammates under the bus. Tyler Marsh was blind.
Making ensuring your medical attachment is fully visible, even if it doesn't touch the area it is meant to assist, is the only way to demonstrate that this is real. The clever thing about this move, though, is that it wasn't only for the team. For the fans, that is. Angel Reese was the main actress in this theater production. She ensured that the brace was visible to all, that social media would be buzzing about it, and that her tale would go viral more quickly than the box office results. The inner monologue, "If I'm going to fake this rebellion, I'm going to sell it," was nearly audible. Complete production, complete costume, and standing ovation. The back brace was the preferred prop used by Angel Reese when she ultimately staged her own protest. Let's switch it up for a moment and discuss the Chicago Sky. Right now, this club isn't exactly soaking up the spotlight. Yes, they suspended her, but they also did nothing to support her when she called out the front office in media reports.
Suspended for a game because she picked up her 8th technical foul. So, and I think that's tonight. That was tonight, right? She was suspended tonight, and now she's suspended the first half against the Aces on the 7th to be Monday, correct? Yeah. Sunday. Yeah. Sunday. My bad. Sunday. Look. Angel expressed her dissatisfaction with the state of the franchise, is what she said. "I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. But while I'm here, I'm going to try to stay open-minded about what I have here and maximize."
They allowed her to deteriorate in the eyes of the public that didn't cover for her back then, and now we're meant to think that they are because of this whole back ailment thing. Wearing flip-flops to a marathon is about as logical as that reasoning. Why would they suddenly act as her bodyguard now if they didn't support her when things went bad in the past? In actuality, it appears that Angel and the Chicago Sky are having a terrible breakup that is taking far too long. Technically, they are still together due of the contract, although neither she nor they want each other. It is comparable to witnessing a couple quarrel at a dinner party while acting as though nothing is wrong, even though everyone at the table is aware that divorce papers are already in the car's glove box. They were completely engrossed. So much so that, rather than keeping score, you nearly wanted to give out participation ribbons. While her colleagues were out there feeling embarrassed, Angel Reese was sitting there with her brace on and her ego intact. She simply sat back and observed, presumably thinking, "Yeah, let them drown without me," rather than intervening to at least try to lessen the damage. Opting out of management is one thing. Leaving your comrades in the middle of a combat while they're being fried is another.
Game suspension. And I mean this when I say this. Why a half a game? Like, Courtney Williams responded to it. Like, she did the exact same. She's like, just suspend her for a game. Just suspend her for a game. Don't suspend her for half a game. Half a game makes no sense. Is she going to be on the warm-up bike for the first half in the locker room? Does she like come out at halftime? Is she suspended by just being sat on the bench? Like, at this stage, suspend her for half a game. At this stage, just bench her for the season. Bench her for the rest of the season. Like, there's two.
Nevertheless, the show went on. She wore her brace like a high-end item as she walked around at halftime, made sure everyone saw the walking billboard of defiance without warming up or blending in with the team. To be honest, it began to resemble a pro wrestling plotline at this point rather than a sporting injury. A folding chair and some dramatic entrance music were the only things lacking. Her coach's pregame remarks gave the impression that she would undoubtedly play, which was the cherry on top. They discussed utilizing heating pads, keeping her relaxed, making sure she was ready, and keeping her warm. Everything was set up as though they intended to insert her. Then, all of a sudden, a back injury. She's gone. There is nothing to see. Ironically, whiplash may have been the only ailment that made sense that evening because the 180 was so abrupt. At that point, you can tell that everything has entirely gone wrong.
Things are getting worse in Chicago, man. Way before it's getting better, I tell you. All right, so the game happened last night. And basically, if y'all remember, Angel Reese was suspended for half of that Aces game last night, right? So she sits out the half of the game, and then coming into the next half, she's ruled out injured with a back injury. Oh, man. Man, it's just tick for tat at this point, man. It is crazy what's going on in Chicago.
When a well-known athlete plays the "I'm hurt" card, their fans typically respond with dissertations longer than the Declaration of Independence explaining why it's true, why it's legitimate, and why everyone else should stop talking. This time, however, there should be either ironic applause or quiet. The looks of even Angel Reese's staunchest supporters resembled those of parents who find their child attempting to use a thermometer to simulate a fever while submerged in hot water. You can't be angry at all. With a simple shake of your head, you murmur, "Nice try." Here's the problem, though. The brace stunt was witnessed by all. Everyone witnessed the well-timed injury. Everyone attended the performance. Fans are also not stupid. When they're being sold something that doesn't quite make up, they are aware of it. They were aware that Angel wasn't stumbling, squirming, or limping. She was strutting, wearing that brace as though it were a Gucci belt. It wasn't a medical device at this time. When your general appears in a Halloween costume, it's like waging a losing battle. However, this goes beyond Angel versus her colleagues. This concerns the conflict between Angel and the Chicago Sky organization.
So what they suspended her for half a game? Why they just suspended the whole game at that point? Why do you want to suspend somebody half a game? How you even gonna play after getting suspended half a game? You gonna miss the first half and then you ain't gonna have no flow for the game. Am I tripping? You're just not gonna have no flow for the game. If you miss the first half of the game and then all of a sudden you can get subbed in for the second half of the game, why not just suspend her the whole game? That's just what the organization decided to do.
Because, let's face it, this was more than a simple "oops, my back hurts" incident. This was a protest, a rebellion, and a braced middle finger. It cried out, "You put me on hold? Cool. Observe me suspending myself." She didn't simply decline to participate. To ensure that everyone understood exactly what was happening, she put on a show. The Chicago Sky aren't exactly innocent in all of this, which adds to the exquisite irony of the situation. The franchise that initially suspended her is the same one. When she called the front office, the same franchise let her hang out to dry. The franchise that has been quietly allowing her reputation to fall apart. They would have intervened months ago if they were truly trying to safeguard her. They didn't. They allowed her to drown. We're now expected to assume that they are the ones fabricating the back injury tale to protect her. Please, why would they act as though they have her back now if they didn't have her back when the headlines were nasty? The Sky silently suspends her, allowing the story to unfold naturally. It resembles a dysfunctional marriage in which both partners wait for the other to leave first.
Well, she's sitting out the first half due to the suspension. Logistically, how does a player who normally starts the game kind of stay warm and go into the second half?
Starts with your warm-up, and then obviously after your warm-up, it's a pretty long stretch that you're sitting. So whether it's keeping pads, whether it's being on the bike and staying active from that standpoint, I think different players operate differently. So we're trusting our medical staff to be able to.
That clip was Tyler Marsh before the game last night, where the Chicago Bravado continued their season-long tradition of getting their ass kicked. This time, the boot to the Bravado's bruised caboose, it belonged to the Las Vegas Anonymous fan.
The halftime show followed. No, not the entertaining and musical one. The halftime performance by Angel Reese. She did not come out with the squad, but she did come out with them. She wasn't getting warmed up. She had no drills going on. She wasn't confined. With her brace fully visible, she was floating around the court, making sure that every camera captured it. Playing wasn't the point. It had to do with optics. It was about communicating without using your muscles and providing support when they are unable to. However, Angel chose to wear hers over a sweatshirt, which is akin to applying a Band-Aid over a winter coat. Maximum visibility, zero function. And that's the main idea. It was not for purpose that IT was merely a show. It was like to a glowing neon sign that said, "Observe me, I'm hurt. I promise." The entire thing had the feel of a WWE segment rather than an injury report. Playing up the part for the audience, she was the villain strolling down the ramp while soaking up the alcohol and applause. Here's the issue, though. Games are not won by theatrics. The Chicago Sky were in disarray as she paraded her disobedience. With 2 minutes remaining in the second quarter, they were up 25 points. In professional basketball, 25 points. Not only is that awful, but it's historically sad.
Head coach Tyler Marsh, who I have a lot of sympathy for, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. Tyler Marsh has one of the most difficult jobs in the country. As the head coach of the Chicago Bravado, he has got to deal with the constant drama of Angel Reese. And it's not just Angel Reese that he has to deal with. This poor dude. He also has to deal with her dozens of aliases. Me Bound Barbie, Bayou Barbie, Can't Afford My Apartment in Chi-Town Barbie, and her most recent personality, Blaming.
An Angel who was sitting out didn't say anything that made her feel better. It gave the impression that she had left the ship when it was sinking. She didn't fight until the end with her group. She waved goodbye, strapped on a makeshift back brace, and boarded the lifeboat. Fans, the media, and teammates all took notice because it could be acceptable to quit once. Reputation is destroyed when players quit twice in consecutive seasons, and Angel Reese is taking that exact risk today. Although it appears from the outside that she doesn't want to argue when things get difficult, she believes she is sticking it to the organization. Ironically, the Sky most likely don't give a damn anymore. And they're done. The punishment, their lack of public defense, and how readily they allowed the back injury narrative to take hold are all examples of it. Now, before this relationship formally ends, both parties are competing to see who can shame the other the most. Since basketball isn't what we're watching, it's actually amusing. Soap opera is what it is. A band, a halftime parade, a back injury, a team that obviously doesn't want her, and a fan base that is no longer able to support her. Even though it was pandemonium with sarcasm and an ironic bow, you couldn't take your eyes off it.
She wore the back brace during the shoot-around, right? So it kind of already looked like she was planning not to play in this game. And it kind of brings the question, like, since she sat out the game, like, or was ruled injured, did she serve the suspension? I don't know. It's kind of weird. You can tell it's just some turmoil going on in Chicago right now. And it kind of brings up the question, like, what is going to happen with Angel Reese at this point? I think she's done playing. I think she's done playing this season, honestly. And granted, you know, they asked Tyler Marsh, well, how do you feel about, you know, bringing Angel Reese back for the remainder of this season? He was stating like, yeah, she's coming back. Well, she wants to get out there. So we're going to, you know, play it with her.
Because Angel Reese has that problem. You're watching whether you like her or not. She ensures it. Furthermore, This most recent act of rebellion, complete with a fictitious back injury, may be her most audacious to date. Thus, the focus of Angel Reese's back injury revolt has shifted from sports medicine to performance art. She appears to be trying out for the part of the diva who outwitted her own team in an off-Broadway musical, if you look closely enough. As they look at MRI images like abstract paintings, the Sky physicians are left searching for damage that just does not exist. The crazy aspect is that this stunt might just work. She has more power than ever before and has turned the Sky into the circus she desired by seeming to be weak. Don't assume that this is all about basketball. It's blatant rebellion disguised as a